Hey there, listeners. Welcome to Hines On Air, your weekly dose of inspiration, motivation, and real-life entrepreneurial stories. I'm Matt Hines, your host, and I'm excited to have you join me on this journey. From building a successful law firm to venturing into other industries like real estate and social media, I've experienced both the triumphs and the challenges that come with entrepreneurship. I've learned firsthand the importance of resilience, adaptability, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. On Hines On Air, we're diving deep into the world of business, law, and personal growth. Join me as I chat with incredible guests who have faced adversity, defied expectations, and achieved extraordinary success. We'll discuss their strategies, their mindset, and the lessons they've learned along the way. Whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur, a seasoned business owner, or simply someone looking for a little inspiration, Hines On Air is for you. Remember to subscribe, like, and leave a review whenever you listen to podcasts. Your support helps us reach more people and continue sharing these incredible stories. Let's get started. Hey everybody, I'm Matthew C. Hines. We are back with another Hines On Air. And as most of y'all know, one of the major goals of this entire podcast is to inspire others, help entrepreneurs with new ideas on how they can expand whatever they're working on in life, their business, any type of enterprise that they're doing. And today we have a specialist. He has proven techniques that he's applied many times in the past. He's created million-dollar firms with, brand development, lead generation, and all kinds of different systems. So we welcome Mr. Jeremie Watson to the show. Welcome, Jeremie.
It's a pleasure to be here, Matt.
Yeah, no, we appreciate your time, man. All right, so this is line one of your biography. It's pretty cool. It grabs your attention pretty well. So, as the founder of the Watson Agency, that's your marketing company? Okay. Jeremie has helped numerous businesses scale to 6, 7, and 8-figure, utilizing a unique proven methodology to elevate brand authority, generate high-quality leads, and maximize ROI. So, I know this is a huge topic. It might not be easy just to kind of encapsulate in a few sentences, but how do you create a good brand awareness for your company or for your product or anything?
That's actually a great question. At our business, we leverage what I like to call the CLASS framework. What the CLASS framework is really about is, number one, class C, building credibility and branding. Number two is lead generation. Number three, or the A, is automated systems. And then strategic offer development and sales funnel optimization. Those are the 5 pillars that we leverage to really, increase brand awareness and drive more sales for businesses.
So you utilize all those for brand awareness?
Absolutely. I like to think about brand awareness as an omnipresent or integrated activity. And that's where a lot of small businesses really make the mistake, right? Number one, they try to do it themselves, to start, as opposed to leveraging an agency or an expert. And a lot of times they'll apply the wrong solution to their problem. When it really is more of an integrated, marketing is an integrated process.
Can you, for our listeners, I think a lot of businesses miss this one, especially starting out, the smaller companies. What is the difference between branding and marketing?
Yeah, it's a great question. I really break marketing up into 2 categories, 2 sides. One is branding, one is marketing. And branding is really about who you are. It's the category that your product sits in. It's who you were called to serve. Whereas marketing, or lead generation, as many people refer to it, direct response marketing, it's all about getting users into your funnel. Now, to your point, funnel is really a buzzword right now. And all that really means is a way to capture, nurture, and convert leads. So to the listeners, when you hear the word funnel, it's not real complicated. It's just a way to capture, nurture, and convert leads.
Gotcha. You using AI in that process, any?
Yeah. We use AI at several points. Our system is actually powered by AI, our CRM system. The system that we use to essentially help our clients as well. So, yeah.
So if you're going into a brand new company, let's say mechanic shop. All right. So this guy repairs, I don't know, Japanese vehicles. What would you say to this guy? Like, all right, I want to increase your brand. We want to get your reputation out there as somebody who's great, that sort of a thing. How would you say, what does he apply first?
Well, number one, you got to understand your market, right? When you say a mechanic shop, how is he going to position himself in the market, right? There are really four segments of the market. There's the discount segment of the market where your competitive advantage is really pricing. Think dollar store. You go to the dollar store, you pay $1 for something that breaks. You're not too upset. You're like, I paid $1 for it, right? The next segment of the market above that is best value. So think Walmart and Target, right? You're paying still a pretty affordable or reasonable price, but you're getting a pretty quality service. Beyond that is the luxury segment of the market. The premium segment of the market. So you think premium cars, BMWs, Tesla. When you go in, you're going to pay a premium. You get a premium level product. You get a premium level of service. And then you have the luxury segment of the market, right? That's luxury items. A lot of things could be assumed about people that shop luxury. They're in a certain tax bracket. They make a certain amount of money. They have, certain taste. So really understanding what segment of the market he really wants to target would be the first question. Let's start there. And then we can, figure out how we want to position you in the market.
So let's say he says premium. What would you do there?
If he wants to position himself as a premium service, we do an audit to kind of see, what services does he really offer, right? What are the competitors doing in the market? So a SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses. What are the opportunities? What are the threats? Who are the competitors in the market? And then from there, we kind of take their service and we do what I call a market service or market product fit to see, number one, if this is the audience he's called to serve, does his service speak to that audience? Does it solve their problem? Right. And then once we can determine, yes, it does solve their problem, the next thing that we'll do is we'll compare the service to the channels. So what are the channels? Where are these people hanging out? Right. And how can we service these people? How can we speak to these people? Once we select the correct channel, next we look at the mechanism, right? What is the best way to kind of communicate with that audience?
Okay. All right. So as far as his branding goes, how would you, what types of material or, so I guess you'd say, all right, let's assume, I doubt this is correct, but let's just say his market is on LinkedIn. You say, the premium crowd, they're on LinkedIn, they're businessmen, businesswomen, fairly successful. So you would start, what would your message say? Because it wouldn't be like, come to this mechanic, he's the best, or he's got the cheapest deal, whatever. How would it build the branding of that guy along that channel of marketing?
Well, what he would have to do first is really figure out what his differentiator is. So when it comes to branding, your differentiator is really your strength. You want to kind of stay out of crowded markets or saturated markets. And really what you want to do is position yourself, what we call blue ocean, away from everybody else. So what is it that he offers that's unique? And that's going to become what we call his unique selling proposition, his USP. So he's got to really figure out what it is that he does that everybody else doesn't do. And that's really his competitive advantage.
I got you. Okay. That's interesting. I just finished a book the other day, and this is on legal market. I have a law firm, by the way, and I have a few other smaller companies, but the law firm is my main enterprise. And the book is about the unique value proposition, because guys like me can't compete with a company like Morgan & Morgan, which is the largest law firm in the United States. And there's a lot of others that their budget is massive. So to just hit them head on and say, I'm going to take that market share is virtually impossible in the beginning, at least. So if I can focus on one area, not say, I want to help people who've been involved in accidents, but I want to help people who were involved in a motorcycle accident or were involved, whatever it might be. You had back pain from a such that but get specific. So I think that's what you're talking about, your unique selling proposition. You want to find how this guy, what he does, that small niche market that he serves, correct?
That's 100% right. We call it niching down, right? So he wants to niche down as far as possible.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Good. Yeah, it's another thing with branding there was a consulting group I worked with, excellent group, and they recommended, I want to see if you agree with this, they recommended 25% of gross income go to promotion, all types of promotion, 25%. Of that 25%, 60% to branding, 40% to marketing, which was interesting because I certainly recognize the benefits and the importance of branding, but I don't know. My natural tendency would just think, no, market, like get them in the door, get them in.
Yeah.
But they were like, no, build the brand, and then it's easy to market into that.
Yeah, I would agree with that, man. I think to some point or obviously it depends on the business, right? You look at companies like Coca-Cola, Apple, they got all the brand presence in the world, right? So for them, it's just like, let's focus on leads. But for companies that are new, a lot of times they don't really have that credibility. So just focusing strictly on leads and not the branding, what'll happen is you'll get a lot of clicks. We call them CPMs in marketing, right? How much does 1,000 clicks or 1,000 views cost you, right? So what'll happen is you'll get the clicks, you'll get the traffic, but a lot of times they won't convert because there isn't that authority. So in reality, I agree with that, but it really depends on the business. That's why we like to kind of take a more customized approach, where we have a free discovery call to audit your business to really, see what the strengths and weaknesses are, because it's going to be custom for every person.
Interesting. I totally agree with everything you're saying. And there was another large company who has just a massive marketing presence. And I was speaking to somebody about them, and it turns out they purchase a lot of leads. They buy leads. And I would have never thought that a company with that type of presence would need to buy leads. I would think they're so saturated with leads right now that they have trouble answering all the calls. But no, they're still buying leads. And then I was like, well, but why do they need to buy leads? Or why do they market so hard and have this massive image if they're just going to go buy their leads? And then it's exactly what you just said. Even though they can get the leads, that person's will probably not close if there's no branding behind it, if nobody knows who this group is or has any confidence in them.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's cool.
Exactly right, Matt.
Well, cool. So, all right. So, lead generation. That's something we all want more of, I think. Any particular tips on how to get more leads in the door?
See, I feel like getting leads is the easy part, right? We think about lead generation. A lot of people don't have lead problems; they have conversion problems, right? A lot of small business owners, they're attending tons of networking events. They're on LinkedIn, they're on Facebook. There are literally millions and millions of people on all of these platforms. So it's not really a lead problem as much as it is a conversion problem. So that's why starting with the branding always does make sense for that reason. But if we're taking a multi-channel approach, what we've seen work well in this day and age is going to be it's really 7 things, right? Number 1 is email and SMS. Email and SMS is the oldest way to kind of market and follow up. That's always going to work. Social media right now is a great channel. Live and virtual events. So attending live and virtual events, getting listed on online directories is a great channel.
Bro, I don't mean to interrupt you, but you're hitting the points that I've been curious about. All right, so you said email and SMS. Are you like buying lists to send to, or somebody calls in and you're emailing them in response? Like, how are you using email and SMS?
Email and SMS is really great for follow-up. So you need a way to drive the traffic, drive the leads, right? And that can be, what I've seen is paid advertising is the best channel, right? So advertising on Facebook, Instagram, advertising on Google and YouTube. Those are the best channels really to drive traffic, in my opinion, because it gives you the ability to target, right? You have to be able to target people based on interest, based on age, based on all these different metrics. So it gives you that ability to do that. But the follow-up is the thing, right? It's like filling up a tire, then letting the next person come and ride the bike. A lot of people will canvas cold, and then it ends there. You go to a networking meeting or a networking event, you meet a person, you have a great conversation. That's just the beginning of it. How do you follow up with that person? So email and SMS is a great way to follow up, and we can help you with that as well as automate that process, taking you out of it, buying you back your time.
Gotcha. All right. And you said events, and I know in your biography write-up, you've sponsored some pretty major events. Is that right? That part of
actually got my. Yeah, I actually got my start in event marketing out in LA. So partnering with companies, or contracting with companies like SBE, BNG, and we've thrown hundreds of events, for, some of the world's largest celebrities. That's, live entertainment events, networking events, and lifestyle events as well.
What would you say to somebody, let's say I don't know, they've been doing it about a year and, their budget's tight. They're not, if they have a payroll, it's not very high and they can barely make it. Do you think events are a good channel to utilize at that point, and if you do, why?
Events are great. Events are great if you have a high-end product to sell on the back end, right? It depends on the company, right? Events work well. They're very good for top funnel, right? Getting people in the door. But if we're talking bottom funnel, if you're going to get people to an event or drive people to an event, you're going to want to have some sort of product on the back end to present them with, or some sort of upsell available to offer them.
When you say an event, what do you mean by event?
Well, they're different type of events, right? Which event are you speaking about? You're speaking more so, like a lifestyle event, or?
Well, I mean, I was just kind of looking to see what you recommended at all, particularly for us. Our law firm just threw a fairly large Christmas party called our Hines Gala, and it's pretty big production. We've done it for many years, and we started really putting a lot of emphasis and time and resources into it 3 years ago. We have an artist come and perform. We invite, I think there were about 800 people at this one. And we are big believers in the PR power of the events, sort of the connection that we make with people that we work with, and even our own team. So I'm a big believer in it, but I was just kind of curious, when you're consulting or you're managing a client, how do you utilize events and that sort of thing?
Yeah. I think that the gala, that's a great way to utilize events. As I said, that's what we would call top funnel. So that's brand awareness, and really just spreading your web to let people know, hey, this is who we are. This is what we offer. Create a great experience for them. And that's kind of a great conversation starter to get them into your funnel.
Gotcha. What are the other events that you've used with clients?
Well, there's things like seminars, or and seminars are essentially informational events, educational events, right? That you can offer to people for fairly low ticket or high ticket, but a lot of people will go low ticket, inform them, indoctrinate them, ascend them, give them some value. Then on the back end, offer them, a product or an upsell, so to speak.
Jeremie, on that point, a lot of groups I've worked with are good at delivering a fairly interesting seminar. Their trouble is getting bodies in the room to hear the seminar. What's your advice on how to just pack out a crowd so that you can market to them?
I think it's really dialing in what's the message of the seminar, who are you speaking to, who is your audience, and having a really strong call to action, right? So, you really gotta understand who it is you're marketing the event to, and then having a strong call to action that motivates them to want to attend, where they're going to get out of the event.
And you use social media. What would you use to get that message out?
Yeah, I would definitely use social media. So Facebook, Instagram ads, as well as YouTube, and mainly Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, to get that message out.
And you put YouTube with them on as far as importance.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I've heard that's the top search engine. I don't know. Statements like that I can't really verify, but I've heard it's up there.
Yeah, I heard it's owned by a company named Google, and they're pretty important. I don't know.
I've heard of Google from somewhere. That name rings a bell. All right, cool, man. So let me ask you this. So one of the topics, you've kind of said this, man, but what is a strategy for generating that high lead generation? If you've answered this, I apologize, but just break it down for us for, the smaller companies looking to expand.
Yeah, I think the first thing for lead generation is really defining, who they're speaking to, right? Who are you speaking to? It's a good place to start. Then looking at what problem that you solve, right? Then really flushing out what the solution will be. Because a lot of companies, they have a value ladder and they offer many products. But when you're speaking to a specific audience, you really got to dial in who they are. What is their problem? Which of your solutions will you offer them and why? Then really thinking about what the promise will be. What is the promise? What will you deliver? Making sure that it's unique, making sure that it's simple for them to understand, right? It can be broken down or distilled into, a sentence or two, or a paragraph at least, or two. So it's very simple for them to understand. Then it's like, what is your unique value proposition beyond that, right? Then your unique value proposition, as I said earlier in the conversation, is really all around what is your competitive advantage in the market? What is it that you offer better than your competitors in the market, right? And then beyond that, selecting your channel, right? After you understand your market, you have to select, after you understand your market, you understand what product or service that you're going to offer them, understanding your channel. Where are these people hanging out? As you said, if it's professionals, LinkedIn is a great channel. Facebook, for, millennials may not be the best channel. So who is the audience you're speaking to? What is the solution you're going to offer them? Where are they hanging out? What channel will you leverage? Then beyond that is just figuring out the right mechanism. So will it be a webinar? Will it be an event? What will be the mechanism? Will it be a challenge? There are plenty of different, what I like to call cash generation events, that you can leverage to essentially create or offer value to your audience. So really defining those four things.
How would you formulate a budget on something like that? Like any mechanism you use to say, all right, we're going to need to spend blah in order to make this.
Yeah, it's like really understanding like what your lead cost is, right? How much does a lead cost you? Understanding what your lead cost is, how many leads you need to generate to kind of get to scale or get to a sell, is going to be the best mechanism to scale. If a lead costs you $10, you need 10 leads to close a sale, then your cost of acquisition is $100. So understanding that, I know how many leads I need to generate, and then I can put the budget together based on that.
Gotcha. That's cool. That's cool. Cool. I saw on your biography also there's something called the 2 Club C Award. What's that?
Yeah. The 2 Club C Award is a award given by ClickFunnels. I actually was a part of a team for an ed tech company. I was actually managing their affiliate marketing arm. Actually launched their affiliate marketing arm and built it up, the systems, and scaled it from a couple $1,000s to 7 figures. But I was a part of a team in that effort, and working with them was an incredible opportunity.
That's cool. Nice, man.
Yeah.
Well, good deal. So going back to that original phrase, and I am glad we're covering branding, because I think a lot of people see branding and they don't really recognize it. And here in Atlanta, we have the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. All right, that's where a lot of events are held. I think Atlanta United, our soccer team, plays there. A lot of great concerts. And a lot of people who really aren't in the business would say, why does Mercedes-Benz want to put their name on a stadium? They may have spent $1 billion doing that. I don't know how much they spent. It's a lot of money, but it has nothing to do with selling a car. And to those people, I would say, well, they're branding. They're getting their name out there and well-known, well-respected. So the next time you go to a Mercedes-Benz dealership, it's you've been indoctrinated. It's part of your beingness now. You're just more likely to like the company. So it's good. I think more people need to recognize that, because we all think, okay, posting that on social media and get a lead, or pay-per-click. Let's go run some pay-per-click. But no, that's branding, man. Might get some leads in the door, but it's not going to carry you into the next 5-10 years. So on the way you've taken a new client, they come to your agency and they're like, Jeremie, we need to grow, man. We're struggling. And you take them to this 6, 7, and even 8 figures. Is that doing just what you've told us here today? Just studying the market, the unique selling proposition, no?
Yeah. And obviously we're speaking, 4,000 feet up right now. There's a lot more that goes into it, keyword research. There's a lot more that actually goes into the process. But 4,000 feet up. Yeah. This is the process that we take. We leverage the class framework.
When you say 4,000 feet up, you're saying that's what y'all do later on after you've already got the foundation built?
I'm saying that, yeah, it definitely starts with the foundation, but, what I'm saying is, we're kind of glancing over a lot of these principles right now, right? We're not going deep into the weeds because exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Cool, man. That's cool. Just give us real quickly, what kind of different companies have you worked with applying these principles?
Yeah, primarily service-based businesses, work with coaching programs, consultants, SaaS companies. So worked across many different verticals. But yeah, those are the companies that I feel like, we do a great job helping the service-based businesses that really have a great differentiator. Like to take a market backwards approach. So, growing markets, things like real estate, law firms, dental, things that every person needs, are the companies we like to focus in and help, and where we can feel like we can add the most value.
That's cool, man. All right. So if anybody's listening to this and they want to take advantage of your services, they would just look for the Watson Agency. How would they find you on Google?
Yeah, they would just search the Watson Agency, but it'd probably be easier just to go to our website, www.thewatson.agency, AGENCY. In fact, for all the listeners that are on right now, I do have a systems ebook that I want to offer to all your listeners for free. So if they go to 7 figuretechstack.com and they use the code Hines On Air, I'm going to give them that book completely free.
Nice. Can you say that one more time?
Sure. So if you go to 7 figuretechstack.com, I'm going to offer all the listeners, everybody who's listening right now, the 7-figure tech stack ebook, which are all the systems and automations that your business needs to scale, completely free. They just have to use the code Hines On Air at checkout.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, Jeremie, that has been fascinating information, man. I appreciate your time, and congrats to all you've done, all your success.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you guys having me on board.
Absolutely, man. Thanks again. And everybody, we appreciate you joining us. I hope you heard something that you can utilize, because those are important things that a lot of people skip over when they're trying to get a business going and they're struggling and they're getting frustrated. Step back, find that unique selling proposition, utilize these techniques. They're invaluable. But we appreciate Mr. Watson, all that information. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. This has been another Hines On Air. If you have not already, please click the subscribe button, follow us, and leave us comments. We'd love to hear from y'all. Otherwise, y'all have a great day.
Hines On Air is for you. Remember to subscribe, like, and leave a review whenever you listen to podcasts. Your support helps us reach more people and continue sharing these incredible stories.